Hi there, Aquarius. Welcome in. This is a reading. It's going to be a love reading between Aquarius and Gemini. I've already laid out your cards and your person's cards to get a feel for the energies, how you feel about each other, and the potential outcome of this connection. So on the left side of the deck, or on the left side of the table, you'll see your cards, Aquarius, and on the right side you'll see your cards, Gemini. I see here a connection between two people who have overall struggled in love and finding their ideal partner. It's almost as if both of you have repeated patterns over and over again when it comes to love, where you have a very specific idea of the type of love, or you had a very specific idea of the type of love you wanted, the type of relationship or person you were looking for. And for one reason or another, both of you have struggled with this. You guys both, this is shared energy, both may have tried many times over to date people, may have had long-term, short-term relationships throughout the years. And at this time, you're both still finding yourself at a point in life where you haven't quite met that one person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, right? I see here two people who are focused on finding a partner who will be loyal, who will have the ability to love them truly for who they are. These are two people who believe in the ideal romance, in the ideal love story. So both of you have held out for that type of love. Just being compatible is not enough for either of you. Just working out is not enough. The mundane, everyday life, the regular life, is not enough for either one of you. There are some very big differences I see here between the two of you. I see that despite the fact that you both have loyal hearts, despite the fact that once you meet someone, you and your person, both Gemini and Aquarius, you are fully committed, fully involved, fully present, and only for that person, right? So this is definitely for those of you who are looking for monogamy. I see two people here who really want to be with their person. However, there are some major differences between the two of you. It's almost like black and white, like yin and yang, like the way that you approach life may be very differently. So this will show up differently for each of you. But for Aquarius, I see a person who is strategic, a planner, a thinker, who likes to do things logically, who makes decisions as yes or no, who doesn't live too far into the gray, a very objective person, likes to know why things are the way they are, likes to understand things, likes to progressively build things in a relationship and in life. That's how they approach, that's pretty much how they approach everything they do. On the Gemini side, I see someone who has a lot of creative energy, creativity, color, spontaneity, going with the flow, letting things ride out. Like that's not something I usually say, but letting it ride out comes through. Letting your imagination wander, dreaming things up, and then trying to make them happen. So on the Gemini side, I see a lot of loose ambiguous energy. So more so letting things evolve and flow and just watching how they fall into place and being surprised by that and enjoying that part of life. Whereas for Aquarius, that would seem like a complete nightmare, like a disorganized mess, like too much ambiguity, right? So the approach to life is different between both of you. And for that reason, it's possible that in the past, if you've tried to come together with this person multiple times across the years, you may have come in and then gone your separate ways. Come in, gone your separate ways. For those of you who haven't met this person, just be aware that if this is somebody new that you're getting to know, or if you haven't met this person yet and you're going to be meeting them in the near future, you may have very deeply ingrained differences, not only in the way that you approach life, in the way you think, but also possibly even culturally, or just with regards to your fundamental values. There are some big differences here. But differences don't mean that the relationship wouldn't work. Differences just mean that you have to get to know each other for who you are truly beneath all that noise, to see if this is a viable situation for both of you. So I see here that in reconnecting, because I think for the majority of you, you already know this person and you're just coming back into union with them. This is for the majority of you. I see that this time around, Gemini is approaching this differently. So Gemini typically doesn't give things, not in general, I'm saying this person I'm reading for here. The Gemini that's coming through here in this reading is someone who typically likes to focus on the day-to-day and doesn't think too far ahead usually, doesn't make future plans too far out. They do have a general direction where they want to go, but they don't tend to plan, they don't have like a structured 5-year or 10-year plan that they go by and work towards, right? So I see here that this person is changing the way they approach you, Aquarius, when you're coming back together this time around. I think they've put some thought into this and they're like, maybe I'm not doing something I should be doing, right? And you could have challenged this person in the past and called them out on some of their flaws or some of the things they had to work on, because I think they've come back with a different approach that they haven't used before. One that is more open to envisioning a future with you, Aquarius. Like, what would a future look like with Aquarius? This person, this Gemini, is wondering now, for the first time possibly, like, okay, what could my life with Aquarius look like in 5 to 10 years? Honestly, like, what could that look like? Would all these differences matter a whole lot or not, So I see that your person sees you as confident, as attractive, desirable, someone they would like to keep, honestly, like a trophy wife, a trophy husband. But more than that, they also see beyond the external to who you are as a person, and they realize that they've gotten to know you enough, or that they sense that they understand your true essence, and they love that you're not the same as anyone they've met. That while you won't conform to what Gemini was looking for in the original dream of their future person, you still could achieve that dream and be their future person and their now person. For the Geminis I'm reading for, who came through on this particular reading, it's very important to you that whoever your partner is fit in well with your family, with your friends, with the people that you cherish in your life. You're a very family-oriented person. And so you tend to scrutinize new love or potential partners with a very strict outlook on, like, well, would my mother like this person? Would my father like this person? Would they get along with my siblings? Would they get along with my children? For those of you who have children. So all these things are usually reasons why you would stop yourself over and over again from pursuing romantic love in the past, or from stopping something that maybe had potential, but you never explored because you assumed that the differences between you and someone else would be too many, and therefore they may not be well received, or they may not fit into your current picture of life. But this person has done something that caused the Gemini, so Aquarius did something that caused Gemini to shift the way they approach this connection. It could have been something that Aquarius said, it could have been something Aquarius challenged Gemini on. Either way, I can see that Gemini is coming into this with a brand new approach, with a more imaginative, with a more open mind with regards to what this connection could look like going forward. And then for Aquarius rebels sometimes when people try to put them in a box. So Aquarius doesn't like to be boxed in and told how to behave. Aquarius will not conform to an expectation. Aquarius is a very independent person, at least the ones I'm reading for that came through in this reading. Very highly independent, responsible for their own life. They've built themselves already up to where they are today, and that is a very successful, wonderful place. And they're not willing to let just anyone in because they're shiny. So with all that glitters is not gold. Just because the Gemini you've met, Aquarius, has literally everything you would look for, Emperor energy, doesn't mean that they are going to be allowed to just come play the role of your partner if they can't meet certain requirements, expectations, or similar to what they're wanting, fit into your world, Aquarius. You don't want to just be a part of someone else's world. You want to be in an interdependent relationship, not a codependent relationship, not a dependent relationship. You are looking for a partner here, Aquarius, who can fill the role of someone you can lean on, someone who can also lean on you, someone who is mature enough and equal enough to your level in life to be able to delegate decisions to, and likewise for them to be able to trust you to run things if they're not around. You're looking for someone that you can rely on, because despite all your hard work and effort and all your progress in life, you are realizing that in the here and now, it would be good to be with a partner who can go the distance, somebody who would be with you for the long haul, who wouldn't mind doing the day-to-day tasks of life with you, who wouldn't mind sharing the load, who wouldn't mind sharing the wins. So you're looking for someone who can accept you exactly for who you are. You are willing. I'm not saying that you're rigid and unwilling to bend or compromise. I'm just saying that you are not willing to compromise your core values. So again, that comes into play very importantly here. And the way that you approach relationships, Aquarius, again, we'll go back to the never-ending story, because I think it's important. Why have your past relationships failed? Why has it been a never-ending story? Have you been too rigid in the past in your approach to new love? Or in this case, in your approach to a returning love who continues to come back in and try things with you. I think you see something in this Gemini that you can't quite put your finger on, but that keeps you coming back for more. And yet you guys tend to pull away from each other inevitably over and over again, because there's something that just doesn't jive right at some points in time, but perhaps hasn't been fully understood or communicated. So in thinking about never-ending story, why in the past have things not worked out, you have to think about what you protect yourself from, Aquarius. So you've been super focused, just like this person has been too strictly focused on, will this person fit in exactly into my house, into my home, into my family members, into my children's lives? How would they react? This bar was set so high that no one could pass it, right? That was Gemini's roadblock here. Whereas now Gemini is approaching this with, okay, maybe some people will not like Aquarius. Maybe it'll take some getting used to. Maybe, maybe Aquarius is just different, but that doesn't mean it's bad, Likewise, you have been very focused, Aquarius, on, will this person go the distance with me? Is this person willing to commit or not? And you want an answer right here, right now. And you want to know now. And unfortunately, not everyone can give you that answer right away because they don't know yet until they try things out with you. And you tend to think that it's best to protect yourself, or maybe that's how you've approached things before. If somebody is showing you signs that they don't want a commitment or that they're not willing to go the distance, you look for signs of this in the way they interact with you and what they say. You may even ask the questions bluntly and right up front, very soon in the connection, right? And this can scare people off or be a turnoff because they just honestly don't know yet. They don't know you enough. They haven't interacted with you enough. So with regards to this aspect, I see here that you're going to enter this relationship, Aquarius, with a tweak as well. When this person comes back around, you're more willing to take things day by day because you've realized that that's how your person makes decisions. You've realized your person doesn't think too far into the future. So you're like, okay, well, maybe I can take it day by day and then assess if this is a good person to go the distance with, if they're showing me the actions, not saying the words, nothing, just showing me the actions day by day that prove to me consistently that this person is here for me, is supporting me, is willing to help me carry the weight off my shoulders, and likewise is willing to trust me to make decisions in partnership, in an interdependent partnership with them. Someone who sees me as an equal, who admires me. So I think there's been compromise here. And for most of you, this is reconnecting with someone who you've reconnected or who you've known before or may have dated in the past. For those of you, if this is someone you haven't met yet, just keep these things in mind as you enter the new connection. So I think that's mostly what I had from the pre-shuffle. I'm going to get some more specific cards with the tarot. And I will start with you, Aquarius, and then I'm going to go to you, Gemini. Tell me how Aquarius feels about Gemini. So Aquarius, you're feeling open to this connection. It seems like a fairly new offer or opportunity in love. Some of you are on the fence about whether to pursue this or not. Some of you are thinking about how in the past, perhaps you've tried it and it hasn't worked out, and perhaps you tell yourself, well, maybe it didn't work out for a reason. So there's some hesitation here on your side, Aquarius, with regards to entering this connection or giving it one more chance. What else for Aquarius? Clarify the High Priestess. Your cards keep popping out and then popping back in. So there is a strong magnetic attraction between you and this person, Aquarius, that you just can't get away from or can't understand. They bring something out of you that you're not used to. Like a new side of you, or a side of you that you keep hidden. They do bring that out of you. With regards to when you've connected in the past with your Gemini, things have never been super horrible between the two of you. They just get you thinking. It just comes to a point where I believe this commitment question comes up, and then it tends to get shaky because perhaps you put more pressure on your person for a response, and then they don't know yet, and so they pull away instead. So I think this may have been how your connection worked in the past, which is why you're still hesitating, like, well, what would be different this time? I think this time you are telling this person, communicating with words, not like just pulling away, Aquarius, because you don't see the results you were hoping for, or you don't get the answer you wanted. Instead of that, this time you're starting with the truth. You're honestly telling this person, look, here are my needs. This is what I would need for things to work. I appreciate the times and memories we've had together, right? But these are my, like, I think you've gotten clear on, like, these are my things that I need for a partnership to work. Like, these are my minimum requirements. Otherwise, I just don't see where, like, I need some level of certainty about where things are going. What else here? You may have told this person, I just at least need you to tell me that your intention is to try to get to know me for the purpose of being together long term. Let's see what else. This card flew out. Yeah, you're very scared to tell anyone, like, up front that your desire is for partnership. Perhaps because you've been rejected in the past, or anytime that's brought up, people tend to pull away. But this time you've approached this connection differently. I think you guys have been in communication and connection for so long, or have had so much back and forth, that you're finally like, I'm just going to tell you, like, from the beginning. Don't even date me if you can't make time for me. Don't even date me if you're not going to be investing emotionally or getting to know me, or like calling me, seeing how I'm doing, helping me out. Like, so you may have put whatever that is for you. You may have just set down some ground rules on what it is that you need and want in a partner, to let this person know, this Gemini know, this is how I would feel most loved and fulfilled. This is what I need in my partner. Can you be that person? Are you willing to be that person for me? Does that come naturally to you with me? If the answer is yes, then maybe we can proceed with this again. Otherwise, let's not waste each other's time. With the Queen of Swords at the bottom, you are very willing to objectively end things here before they even get started, if they can't tell you from the beginning that they're willing to put in some level of effort, the minimum level of effort that you require to feel loved, cared for, and prioritized, Aquarius. Okay, I'm gonna get the cards now for your person. See what your person's feeling and thinking about you, Aquarius. How does Gemini feel about Aquarius and this connection? Oh, wow. So you got, they came out, Gemini came out with the Queen of Swords as their first card. And I say wow because at the bottom of the deck, you had the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, as your final card. So it's like you're in this energy of, I'm looking at you to see how you react, Gemini. Are you going to react in a positive manner? Are you going to, like, let me see what you have to say. Is the overall, let me see how you behave, is the overall kind of energy from Aquarius here. And then Gemini, Queen of Swords. Okay. So the Geminis I'm reading for are very focused on work and career. They may not have a whole lot of time for emotional connections or relationships. They're focused on building an empire, on building their future. But I think they're coming to realize that because they've been so career focused, this is possibly hindering their ability to show affection or attention sufficient to keep a long-term committed relationship around. It makes them come off as like unsure, or maybe they do get unsure because they don't dedicate enough time consistently to any connection to see if that passion or love can build. What else for Gemini? So Gemini got the 10 of Cups. It seems there's been a shift in focus when it comes to romantic relationships for the Geminis coming through in this reading. They do want to have a successful, committed partnership. I believe that the Geminis I'm reading for have already achieved quite a lot of success when it comes to career and money. And so now they're like, this is all great, and I love my family and my friends, and I spend time with them, but like, I'm always alone. I'm always single. And I never have a good reason for that either. Because this Gemini that I have, or the Geminis I have coming through there, like, they're successful, they're attractive, they're smart. They may not be super fancy, but they're definitely smart, successful, and educated. Get the Page of Wands here. So in the past, there may have been some type of friends with benefits situation. Between Gemini and someone else. I don't know if this is between you two. I'll get clarity. Who is this? Who is this between? Interesting. So in the past, there may have been some type of friends with benefits situation where one person was trying to invest in something more stable, in a long-term partnership, where some person was hoping to be introduced to family and friends, etc., while the other person was only interested in hooking up, in having sex, and having fun at that time. And this led to a failure in the connection. This may be why things ended the last time. So the Gemini may have had their priorities not quite in order last time they connected with Aquarius. Like, I believe Gemini watched Aquarius walk away because they were too focused on the physical. What else? I feel like that's some kind of side story. I see here things possibly improving after the reunion happens, like after you guys get back together, because this is like some kind of backstory or context I get. So I see things improving as you guys reconnect. Perhaps for those of you who have children, there could be some form of like change in perception caused by, as your kids are getting older, as things are changing, as your relationships are evolving with your family and your children. The Geminis I'm reading for may have had a change in perspective or outlook that caused them to realize, hey, if I would have just watered that plant a little more, who knows how big it could have gotten, you know? So there's something about that. A change in perspective has happened for Gemini here with regards to what's important in life, what they want, and their role in achieving that. So they're starting to realize maybe relationships are not like running a business. Maybe you can't just like tell the person what to do or expect them to do it and then just like buy them things, buy them gifts, and that's it. My children won't love me if I just buy them gifts. Like, I have to put in the time, I have to put in the effort, I have to really care about them, get to know their nuances, right? And maybe I've been approaching relationships in a too distant manner, like in just like a, yes, I like to go with the flow, but maybe I went with the flow too much and just kind of let it die like a plant that wasn't watered, right? So I think that Gemini is coming to this realization here. What else? How does Gemini feel about Aquarius? How does Gemini see or feel about Aquarius? So they see you as the Judgment and the Queen of Cups. So they see you, Aquarius, as somebody who would be like a miracle. If they could have your heart, it would be a miracle. It would be like this big accomplishment. I think I said trophy earlier. Like, they see you, Aquarius, as like the trophy wife or husband, like as the dream person that they've always wanted, like that person that you crush on and don't think you could ever get with, right? Like when you have a celebrity crush, it's almost that intense for them. What else? What actions is Gemini planning to take towards Aquarius? Get the Devil. Gemini is quite obsessively attracted to their Aquarius. Gemini thinks about a lot of things when they think about their Aquarius. I'm not going to get too specific, but yeah, they definitely crave you, Aquarius. They want a victory with you. Clarify the Chariot. I feel like there might be some kind of timing aspect there, so I'm trying to find out. Yeah, so they want to come towards you, Aquarius, because they feel like you could, like, you go out a lot, you get a lot of attention, and they want to come towards you and grab your attention, your full attention. They want to stand out above your other options. They feel they need to do something that would distract you away from your current world of like what's important to you, etc. They want you to choose them. Gemini wants to be chosen by Aquarius here. And to do so, they may make some type of grand gesture. They may come in like a very fancy car. They may come in with like super nice shoes. They may like get dressed up for you, Aquarius. They definitely want to appeal to the things they believe you are into and you like. And I think they see you as some kind of trophy person. So like they may feel like you have a lot of money or affluence or just very well educated, Aquarius, and so they feel like they have to be fancier when they're around you. They're normally not as fancy, but when they come around you, they try to be more well spoken, they try to be a tad fancier, etc. So they're trying to impress you overall. They want to take a risk and try to move towards you. That's what I see here for your person. I will get just a few more cards for you, Aquarius, to see what actions you might be taking towards your person, and then we'll close the reading. In case there are cross watchers who want to look at the Aquarius side. Okay. You got the Five of Swords. I wasn't really done setting my intention, but we'll leave that out there. How does Aquarius feel about their Gemini? Aquarius seems to still be making up their mind. So again, Aquarius is very much observant and watchful of their Gemini. They haven't quite made up their mind about whether to move towards Gemini yet or not. What actions is Aquarius planning? Wow, Aquarius is not giving any news up. Aquarius is like High Priestess, Moon. Aquarius is still making up their mind. And I can only predict the foreseeable future. And, future is impacted by our current day choices in the now. So I can't really speak for this Aquarius. All I can say is what is likely to happen, or what actions are likely to come based on their current energies and decisions. So for this Aquarius, the ones coming through here in this reading, you haven't made up your mind yet as to this connection or what you want to do next, but you are in communication. You are opening the door to like flirting, talking, texting, calling each other. You're definitely giving this person your attention, Aquarius, and then observing how they behave, seeing if they can prove to you that they're being consistent, that they're showing up as the Emperor. You definitely want the full package, somebody who can support you both emotionally, financially, intellectually, somebody who can be your equal. You want somebody who is willing to invest emotionally and shows you that with their actions, not just with their words. You're going to watch for this. You're going to see how this person behaves, how frequently they communicate with you, how often they think of you, what type of dates they plan, what type of time they invest into the connection, especially since this person is always super busy with work. I get that a lot for many of you. You also feel like you are busy with work, Aquarius, at times, but you make time for what's important. There's some worry on the side, like on the Aquarian side, there's some worry here, some unresolved worry, very similar to what Gemini was worried about. Aquarius has some worries about the people that Gemini hangs out with, about, perhaps there's some hesitation about meeting the people that are important or that hang out with Gemini, about fitting in with Gemini's friends. Like there's some hesitation or like blockage there. I think it's because you want everything to be fair and equal, and you know that your Gemini values their connections, the people that are close to them already, their inner circle. And you're not sure how you're going to like their inner circle, Aquarius. It doesn't mean you're not going to try to get to know this person's inner circle or you're not willing to. It just means, similar to how you approached the relationship with your Gemini, you're not willing to compromise your core values or behaviors or the way that you are, what makes you uniquely you. You will never compromise that for anyone. So I think there's some hesitation there on like when to open up emotionally or when to like move things forward in the connection from Aquarius's side. And it may have to do with like the people that hang around their Gemini, the way they behave. I got that there's a big difference either culturally or like in some massive way between the way your life is and the way your Gemini's life is. So it may mean that the people that surround you, Aquarius, and you, Gemini, are just very different in how they behave, how they act, the way they think. There could be completely different worlds or cultures on either side. So that's kind of what's been the concern on Aquarius's mind, and the reason why Aquarius is somewhat, they're not holding back on the outside. On the outside, they're still flirting, they're still talking, they're still saying they're giving this a chance. But like on the inside, Aquarius is very much like, well, let me see. Like, I don't know for sure. So there's a level of protectiveness here on emotional investment on the Aquarius side. And it's really just Aquarius needs time to watch and observe how Gemini is behaving if they're coming in differently this time around. All right, that is all that I have for you, Aquarius and Gemini. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It really helps out my channel. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.